Is that it? Good, good. Well, welcome. Welcome to this webinar. I am Simone Brown, your cross-cultural communications mentor for international doctors. I have a master's in education. I'm a certified pronunciation coach, and I am a bird nerd. That's why when you see me, usually I'll have earrings that have birds on them. These are swifts. Okay, so that's what I'm wearing today. Let's see. Today's webinar is from interview skills to residency readiness. This is the last one of my webinar series for the year. I'll probably have one in February, I'm not sure. But this is the last time I will be seeing you guys until next year. And it also is the last offer. So just so you know, we're going to be talking about working with me later. This will be the last time that I offer something. I'm going to be closing it out because I'm going on vacation next Friday, and that'll be it. Okay, I'll be working for my clients, but I won't be trying to find you and connect with you. You have to find me. So I've done a lot of work since June, I think, and I'm kind of winding down now. And I'm so enjoying my mock interviews slash strategy sessions with my clients, encouraging them. I see several of them here tonight, which I'm so grateful that you're here. It's really nice to see you have come to my webinar. So thank you for coming. So here's the agenda. So I'm going to tell you why I work exclusively with IMGs. You might have heard my story before, but some of you are new, and so I just want to let you know what's going on with me. How to answer the weaknesses and mistake questions, handling situational and hot seat questions, learn about Match 2025 Interview Mastery Bundle Plus, questions to ask the program that demonstrate genuine interest. The most important question you must answer to get matched, and gift time. So all these things we will be talking about tonight. So let's get started. And please stay until you get your show up gift. This is a book that I wrote, and it's not just like a little 4-page guide. I think it's like 60 pages. I mean, it's half size, but still, I put a lot of work into it. So I know, especially if you're new to the US, maybe if you've worked, you've lived and worked in the US for a while, maybe this won't be of interest to you. Although maybe it might, because I will be able to maybe describe some of these cultural nuances that'll help you build connections with colleagues and patients, and making your residency journey and U.S. clinical experience smoother. And I do share some personal stories about my family. So I tried to personalize it. So I hope that, and it is for you. So it's not just for talking about the holidays. It's about being an IMG here in the States during the holidays. And we actually, let's see, last Tuesday was Veterans Day. And then in 2 weeks, we have Thanksgiving and we have Christmas and all the other holidays. And they're all in there, federal holidays as well as just traditional holidays. So I hope you'll stay. When I first got connected with IMGs was back in 2018. I met this guy named Dr. Vien, and that is his wife Tam. And I say doctors because she's a doctor also. Now he is practicing already. He is the chief fellow of cardiology. So he's gone all the way through residency and now he's the chief fellow. I'm so proud of him. And I keep in touch with him, and I worked with his wife as well, but I think she decided not to go on the residency journey, just to support her husband. So there they are, my beautiful couple. Since 2018, I personally mentored over 100 matched IMGs. I actually haven't counted it thus far. It's probably more like 150 now. So here are some of the people that I've helped over the years. And yes, this is a baby right here, and that's me. So this baby was born during last year's match season. Isn't that fun? And she's so sweet. Look at her. She's not matched, but her mom is. And I'm a proud supporter of Project IMG, AMWU, AMWA and the Texas Association of Family Practitioners. So you'll see me sometimes at Project IMG events, and I love it. Here's Doctora Betty. Any of you part of the IMG Madres? Is anybody part of the Madres Club? That's Doctora. There's Sebastian right there. Jesus somewhere. There's Jesus. Maver. These are my friends. Nice people. So let's get started. Okay, let's get started now with the meat of the webinar. So what I'm going to talk to you tonight about is a little bit different than what I normally do. Yes, I am going to give you some interview tips, but I'm going to try to get you into a mindset shift. I know that many of you probably have had interviews already, or maybe you don't have any and you're sort of waiting for them. That's okay. There's still time. You can still get interviews, invitations as late as January. I've seen it, January interviews in February, and you match. It has happened. I've seen it. So don't despair yet, but it is time for you to get out, do those letters of interest, talk again to your the programs that you signaled, try to show them why you're a good fit, and just maybe they'll just throw it in the trash. You don't know, but it's worth your time. Go ahead and do that. Get as many interviews as you can. But I want to give you a mindset shift now from those interview answers, those responses that I've talked about all season, to clinical communication. So when you're in the interview, they are trying to determine, the program director and the others, the faculty, they're trying to determine if you are a good fit for the program. They want to know if you are ready on day one to learn. Do you have a teachable heart? And also, are you going to be a problem? Are there those red flags? Is there a problem there? But they really are assessing how you communicate. This is a huge part of being a physician. Your clarity, can you express your thoughts simply and professionally? Composure, can you stay calm, thoughtful, and steady when they give you some crazy questions? And also, can you build rapport and show warmth in a short interaction? It's very important. If you can do that in an interview, which is nerve-wracking, right? You can do this, the same thing with your patients, your nurses, the attendings, co-residents every single day. So they want to know if you're a good communicator. And from what I see, things are changing a little bit this time. The interviews seem to be shorter this year, 15, 20 minutes, so every moment counts. So remember, they know you're smart in your brain. You've got to show them your heart. They know you're smart, show them your heart. So it's not about your CV at this point. It's about being authentic and a clear communicator. All right, so let's get into it. Weakness and mistake questions. These are my favorite questions for you. These questions, the ones that I'm going to tell you about right now, they can move the needle for you. They can actually get you the position. Now, you can keep it safe, okay? You can play it safe, or you can be open and honest and make a connection and be authentic, and that will help you get the job. Okay, so weakness and mistake questions. It's like professional self-awareness. So are you self-aware? Do you have a teachable heart? And do you have a commitment to improve? So self-aware, you know what's going on with you, what you're weak at, what things you've done wrong, had little mistakes. You have a teachable heart. So some of us know we have weaknesses, but we don't care at all about fixing that. We don't care. But are you teachable? Do you have a teachable heart? Especially those that are old grads. I was talking about this a little bit earlier today. You know why being an old grad is a red flag? Does anybody know? Can you tell me in the chat? Why do programs tend to shy away from old grads? Does anyone know? I'm gonna let you say it in the chat. Why? I know. Why? It's a mystery. Teachability, no idea. Yeah. So I think you're really close. Yeah, not receptive to learning. They believe we forgot medicine. I really think it's more about In the past, old school, old school, less flexible. I think you got it. I don't think that you've forgotten about medicine unless you've just been away from medicine. But they maybe they've had problems in the past with old grads who were not teachable, were not flexible. Said, "Hey, this is old school. I know what to do, and I don't really want to learn your way. I know my way already." And I'm not saying you would do that, but maybe they've had problems with that in the past. And so that is something that you have to overcome. And you can do that if you show that you have a teachable heart, that you are willing to learn more things and be flexible and be as self-aware is the first part of it. So do you understand your own patterns? Do you have a teachable heart? Are you open to feedback without defensiveness? And are you actively working on the issue? So the way you approach these questions show maturity, honesty, growth, the exact qualities programs expect from a future resident. Okay, so let's talk about mistake. You can use the STAR method to talk about your mistake. And if you don't know what the STAR method is, some of you who this is your first webinar, go back. If you go to my YouTube channel, which is terrible, by the way, but if you go there, you can find the last webinar where I describe how to use the STAR method. Okay, so it's situation, task, action, result, reflection. And that's how you tell your story. Now, how do you choose a mistake? Well, it first of all, it needs to be an actual thing that happened. Okay, it needs to be an actual thing that happened. I do not want you to choose a mistake. Okay, let me give you my heart here. Okay, so you guys know, first of all, I should have told you this at the beginning. I am not a medical doctor or any kind of doctor, actually. I'm not a doctor, but I have the ability to, I know your stories, and I have the ability to let you know what is a good thing to share and what is not a good thing to share. Okay, so I had someone earlier this week who was telling me about a mistake that was made back in their home country. And I felt like that was not a good story to share because I didn't feel like it was their fault. I felt like it was the system's fault or the institution's fault. You know, when they told me about the story, I said, don't share that one. So that is not what they're looking for. They're not looking, what's the question behind the question? It's not to learn about your mistakes, it's how you handled the mistake. So, what was happening? Like, what was your role? It's different if you're a medical student or if you are the chief of the hospital. And by the way, it doesn't have to do with medicine at all. It can be completely outside of medicine, just a mistake that you made. You need to explain your role in the situation. What did you do to address your mistake and or accept responsibility? And how did everything work out? And also explain what you learned and how it changed your behavior. So it's really good. So I'm trying to see if my friend is here. I'm going to actually share the story. Um, I don't see her here. I'm just going to share her story. So she decided to talk about how a couple months ago, she was starting a new job and she forgot her husband's birthday. Okay, because she was so busy with this, application process and she was starting a new job. She forgot her husband's birthday. She forgot the whole day, and her husband reminded her the next day. And she felt so bad about that. She, of course, asked for forgiveness and he gave it to her, but she went all out that day, got his favorite fruit foods, got all the family on a Zoom call. They all sang happy birthday to him at once, and she promised she wouldn't forget again. But what she learned was no matter how busy she is, she needs to prioritize family. I mean, they deserve that as well. And so she really learned something from that. So, I mean, that has nothing to do with medicine, right? But it shows that she made a mistake, she owned up to it, and she tried to make it better. Um, so that's an example of how you can get a real mistake without panic and without sharing something that might harm you. So if it's in a hospital setting or it's in a clinic setting, be very, very careful about that. If it's a miscommunication, that's one thing, that's fine. But if it's an actual mistake, and hey, I know there's medical mistakes all the time, but that isn't what they're trying to find out. So be careful about that. Avoid the trap of the perfect story. Okay, I'm going to try to be really nice about this, but this gets me I kind of get crazy about this. So some IMGs will get into groups and they will practice fake stories with their friends or IMG groups because they think it sounds like the perfect story. Whether it is about a mistake, about an experience, about anything, that is a huge mistake right there because um, those program directors have been doing this for a while. They can feel if you're being authentic or not. They may not be able to pinpoint it, but they know something's off. You have a mask on. So if you'd like to know more about that, you can go to my LinkedIn profile page, and I have the IMG Match Success newsletter. I've got one more newsletter. Go to last week about authenticity and the mask, and you'll see what I'm talking about. It's dangerous to do that. They don't want perfection, they just want honesty. And if you really can't think of an example, if it comes to the mistake or if it comes to some sort of experience that they ask you about, you just treat it like a situational question. Situational questions don't, that's I think that they don't move the needle at all for you. A situational question is, what would you do if? Okay, so they're building a scenario for you. You will not ever make points or move the needle with that kind of question unless you can flip it and turn it into an experience question. Like you say, okay, I know how I would react in that situation because something like that has happened to me, and then give your experience, right? But on the flip side, if they give you an experience question and you don't have that experience, then you just treat it like a situational question. It's like, well, I can't think of a time right now when that's happened to me. Of course, I make mistakes. I can't think of a story right now or a situation like that, but I know how I would react based on your values, your training, your experience. So that's how you answer it. So I can't think of a mistake right now, but I know that if, of course, I make mistakes. I just can't think of one right now, but I know that I would for sure, I would admit it. I would report the mistake to who I need to report it to. I would take responsibility. I would make it right if I could. And of course, I'd learn growth from that. And so you just really quickly answer the question that way and then move on. How's that? Okay. So hopefully that will make it easier for you, and I hope that you won't fall into that trap of the perfect story that isn't even true. That's bad. Okay, let's go on to conflict resolution. This is serious professional communication right here. So they're going to give you a scenario. What would you do if, and it requires to keep yourself in the scenario, but don't spend too much time on the answer. If you have experienced something similar, turn it into a star response. So just like what I was saying, so they might say, what would you do if you were with a senior resident and you're with a med student and you didn't agree with the treatment plan? What would you do? And so maybe that's actually happened to you. So give the story about STARR. But if you don't have a story like that, that's fine. Then you just go through it quickly about your training, your values, your experience, and then move on. Don't build the scenario out. Don't blow it up. If I did this, then this, or if this happened, then I would do this. But please don't make it bigger. Just move on through. Just move on through as quickly as you can and that will be better for you in the long run because you want to be able to share stories. So it's not from question to question to question, it's from story to story to story. Okay? All right. Now we're going to talk about patient-centered communication, those empathy under pressure kind of questions. So those emotionally heavy questions, like tell me at a time when you delivered bad news. So they aren't really about the story in this case. They want you to show empathy, clarity, and emotional steadiness. So and it just depends on what your experience is here. If you're kind of new to medicine, maybe you've never had to do this. If you've been in medicine for a while, there's definitely been a time where you've had an emotional patient. So maybe it's not delivering really bad news. Maybe it is talking to just distressed patients in general. It could be something about collaborating with overwhelmed colleagues, so or handling uncertainty. Those kinds of things are all emotional kind of questions, and they want to know that you were emotionally steady, you showed empathy, and you had clarity. If you can't think of a big example, choose a moment when someone was upset, distressed, or disappointed and how you showed support. I've heard so many stories about this, and these stories are usually really small moments, like passing the room, the door that, passing a room, the door's open, and hearing someone crying, and just going in there and giving them, showing compassion. Just maybe you're volunteering, maybe you were on rounds, maybe maybe you're a CNA or medical assistant, right? So maybe you're not being in a doctor situation. You're just trying to comfort someone in their need. And so learn about that. Think about a time when that's happened, and hopefully you can, because a big part of being a physician is showing that patient-centered care. So that's the other kind. So again, it's not just about can you see? This is not about a perfect interview answer. It's about what kind of resident are you going to be? What kind of doctor are you going to be? How can you bring your experiences from the past into residency? How can you do that? So you frame them that way. Your reflections should always be how you can bring that into your residency. Think about them in a more broad, mature way than just what happened to you. Like, what did you notice about other people, possibly, and how they handled it? So maybe you've never had to deliver bad news, but you've seen someone deliver bad news. So I've heard stories about doctors who have seen other doctors deliver bad news very poorly. And then also some who do it really well. And so you've learned from each other. So don't be shy about sharing stories about other doctors that you've learned for. Just be careful about HIPAA and about, not really being too specific. So they shouldn't really know the specific person that you're talking about. But it's always okay to share other people's stories that you have witnessed. That's now you're in the story. You're in the story. Any questions so far? You can always give me a question in the chat box, but I will have a Q&A in a little bit. Anybody? All right, we're moving on. Okay, now I want to switch over from interviewing skills to residency readiness. So this is so important when you're in the interviews that you show that professional courtesy, the empathy, the clear communication, because that's what you're going to be doing on the job. You're going to be communicating professionally with attendings and nurses. You're going to be navigating real conflict on the team. That's why they always ask that question, because you can be sure that there will be conflicts on the job. Responding to feedback without defensiveness. So if you made a mistake and you got feedback. How did you respond to that? Um, Somebody wants to know, tell me about yourself. I will get to that at the end, Nadia. I'd be happy to answer that. They want to know that you can support patients and families with empathy. That's part of your job. They want to know that you can manage stress, uncertainty, and fast-paced decisions. So all of these things is what they're really trying to get at in this interview, and you have about 15 minutes to get there. Okay, so interviewing success is the beginning. So communication maturity is what carries you into residency. That's what they're looking for. Are you going to be ready to be a team player on day one? Or are you going to be a problem? So that is what they are trying to find out. Okay, so I'm gonna fuss at you just for a minute here because I've had literally hundreds of IMGs come to my webinars, all my free webinars, and it's I love it. I'm perfectly fine if you come to my free webinar. I don't have any expectations that you will work with me after, but I have to tell you, I want to be gentle about this, but I want you to know that coming, even if you watch all my webinars and all of everyone else's webinars, that doesn't mean that you are actually going to be able to do this um, really in a mature professional way. You do need mentorship. If it's not from me, try to get it from somebody because just talking to each other can be a problem. And also, if you are just in these WhatsApp groups and you're getting together with other IMGs, like in a bubble, you don't really know what it sounds like from a native speaker or from the outside of the perfect group. So what does mentorship give you? This is what you should be looking for. Guided, safe practice, okay? Safe, supported space, real-time feedback. I mean, I've been doing this for a couple of months now, doing these mock interviews slash strategy sessions. They're a lot of fun. I don't think they're what my clients are expecting. They expect a mock interview and they don't get that. But I know that it really helps them with their confidence because they know their stories, they know why they're a good fit, they know how to tell me about yourself, and the other things that you really do need, especially this year, to communicate effectively in your interviews. You need accountability, not just from those WhatsApp groups, but from other like-minded people who are also preparing in the same way. A trusted mentor that stays with you through the interviews, match week, and on transition into residency. I see a lot of people that pop up on Facebook and on LinkedIn about residency interview preparation, which is fine. Hey, I have some really great competitors out there. But I am the kind of mentor that will stay with you all the way through match week and all the way through residency. So I am currently working with a PGY1 who is really struggling right now. Wasn't my client before, right? And so now he's really struggling. The program director has reached out to me to try to help him with his communication skills because he's having problems with that cross-cultural awareness. He's having problems connecting with patients, building rapport, and he's about to be in trouble. And I've worked with several PGY1s who just were not prepared for residency. And it's never about the medicine, thank goodness, because I can't help about medicine, but it is about the communication skills with colleagues and with patients, and they start losing their confidence. It's a really sad situation. So thankfully, the residents that I've worked with, the ones that are already PGY1s, we have been able to turn it around, and now they went on with their residency, and they went into their PGY2, PGY3 years. So they're being, really successful now, and I'm, praying that this is what will happen to this one PGY1 that I'm working with right now. And so it's not just about the interview. If you think it's just about the interview, if you think it's just learning tips, that's not what I'm here for. Okay, I am here to walk alongside you. That's what I'm offering you tonight. You're not going to get that from free webinars. I think they're pretty good. I think I give some good stuff, but it's not the same as working personally. So I want to tell you about the Interview to Residency Mentorship Program. And we'll get to, don't worry, we're going to get to the free gift here in a minute. I'm going to keep this short and then we'll get to your questions. So this is a guided path to finish your interview season strong. By the way, if you haven't even started preparing and you still are waiting for interviews, hey, it's okay. It's not too late. You can get started even those last minute interviews now. You don't know, you could get an interview tomorrow and they want you to interview the next week. It does happen. So you should be prepared. Navigate match week with confidence. Build the communication skills you need on day one of residency. If you want to work with me this match season, this is the moment because this is the last time that I'm going to be offering anything to the community. I'm going on Thanksgiving break next Friday, taking my RV and traveling to my son and daughter-in-law's house, and I'm not going to worry about it after that. So you won't be seeing any more messages from me, no more offers. This is kind of it tonight. So if you think about I'd really like to work with Simone. It's long term, okay? That's at least on my part. What you'll receive for the interview season, you'll get a one-to-one, one-on-one mentorship session. So it's really you can call it a mock interview, but it's really a lot different than that. We have four more group practice sessions from now to January. We had one this morning. It was a lot of fun. So that's coached practice, like I'm there. You get real-time feedback. There is the Interview Mastery course, which is a self-paced course that you can see all my videos there and what I suggest. So if you're coming on late, you could actually join tonight. You have access to that course. You could be ready by the end of the weekend if you just keep watching videos. And then there's ongoing mentorship. It's not like you're dropped into a course and then you're abandoned. There is ongoing communications, and chats and all those things as things arise. Now, after the interviews, it's not over after that. We're also going to do the residency readiness course, which is a communication and professionalism skills that you'll use every day as an intern. And I am going to be teaching it live through workshops starting in January and ending before match week. So you'll get it out of the way. You'll be ready. So it'll be small group practice about patient interactions, teamwork, conflict resolution, and feedback. That's all included in those live workshops. There's a course that goes with it, that residency readiness course. You can start, you have immediate access to that. You can start working on those skills now. I'm going to do a really quick soap preparation session the week before, the Thursday before soap. So I know you're going to match, you're not going to need it, but we still meet just to kind of refresh our memory. And then again, access, mentorship and community access all the way through June 2026. So you'll just be able to walk into your residency and you will have support all that time. Okay, how does that sound? Also, I wanted to tell you there's a double guarantee, so there's zero risk. You have a 30-day money-back guarantee. If you decide that it's not what you want, you do not have to, you just tell me and I'll refund your money. I have done that before. If you don't get an interview at all, then and you complete the course, you do the practice sessions, everything, but you don't receive any invitations, I'll refund your payment if you want. Okay, so you've got peace of mind here. You got nothing to lose. Yes, I'm asking for a commitment up front, but I'm going to over deliver, don't worry. And all of that tonight, the special price is $497. Now, you who are in the webinar and you're already a member of the community, please don't try to buy this. You already have it. You already have all this stuff. So you already have access to the readiness course. You already have access to those practice sessions. You already have access to me as your mentor. So please don't try to buy something again. But for the rest of you, there's your price, $497. You save over $1,000 and you get all these things. So again, this is my last offer of 2025, the last chance to work with me at this level before June 2020, all the way through June 2026. And you can use that QR code. You know, I should probably um I need to give you the you know what? Is that QR code good? Can someone try it even if you're not going to buy? That would be helpful. Let me see. I'm going to try to hmm, let's see. I need to stop this. No, I'm sorry. Those of you who are already members of the IMG Match Success community, so I have clients that are my clients right now that are in this webinar. So this is a free webinar, but I was telling my clients, they're already my clients, they shouldn't buy this again because they've already paid for their bundle and they're already in. So that's what I'm sorry. I didn't mean to, okay, great. I didn't mean to confuse you. Sorry. So yeah, if you're not my client, you need to click this right away. Go on there and you'll have immediate access to the community. There's no wait on that. So you will have that clarity, that confidence for interviews, but more than that, that professional communication confidence that you will need to get in once you enter into residency. Uh-oh, that's the wrong one then. That is not going to work. Sorry. Mm, mm. Let me try again. Hold on. Let me give you the right one because I don't think that one's going to work. Just give me a second here. See, I told you I have to do everything myself and I make mistakes. Okay, try this one. Yeah, that application power pack is no good. Sorry. Try that one. Can someone try that one and see if it works? I better wait. Okay, good. So just use that link. Sorry about that. I don't know what happened. I thought I fixed it. I guess I didn't. So what do you get? Okay, thank you. Diego, don't buy that again. Okay, you've already bought it. Okay, so join the bundle. Full membership support through June 2026. No monthly fees, no upgrades, no hidden add-ons. One decision tonight, and that's it. And then you'll have your mentor for the rest of the time. But in order to give you some motivation to do that tonight, I'd really like to offer you that fast action bonus, which is the Tell Me About Yourself Jumpstart Kit. So you get, if you haven't started, so who was asking about that? Let's see. Ba, ba, ba. Nadia. So this is perfect for you. If you join before tonight's and the end of the webinar, then you get a video walkthrough of this, how I feel you should handle this question. You get a template and you'll get a 20-minute, an extra 20-minute session with me so that you can just, practice and get it down right away. So that is what is available tonight, that fast action bonus. So jump on. So it's $497, same price, but you get an extra 20 minutes. So you get an hour and 20 minutes with me, which is too cool. All right, so here is, now I feel like I'm, I'm worried about my QR codes. This is your show up gift, okay? So let me share that with you. Copy. Okay, so that is the Navigating US Holidays, which is super cool. How come it won't let me do it? Hold on. I wanted to show it to you. Anyone try that QR code for this one? Is that one wrong too? Okay, let me share this with you now. Share. Okay, so this is my navigating US. Oh, good, good. Which one works? Does the QR code work? Good. So look at that. I love it. And it has 57 pages. So here is the table of contents. Everything, all the federal holidays, holiday safety, other popular celebrations. So these are all sort of cultural celebrations. And then we have other appendices. Is that how you say it? Holiday dates, professional holiday gifting etiquette, and some things that I like, just my top 10 holiday songs, movies, children holiday books. And I have things in there about my family. So you can see pictures of my family. That's not my picture. No, no. Let's see. Where's a picture of my family? Let's see if I can find it. There's a picture of my little brother. That's my little brother. Let's see if there's another one of me here. Those are good friends of mine. So yeah, so it's kind of personal. I hope you'll enjoy it. I think it's fun. Anyway, I think it's fun. Okay, so let's get back to it. Now we're gonna go to the Q and A's. We're gonna go to the Q and A's. All right, it's time for that. And I have time. Look, I ended early so I could give you the Q and A's. Okay, just put those in the chat for me. Okay. So let's see. The first question was, tell me about yourself. Okay, so this one is important. It's really important to kind of memorize this. I don't want you to memorize any of the questions or your answers, really. But this one is very important to memorize because you're going to be nervous. You definitely want to be prepared. Um, and so to follow the template that I'm going to give you is helpful to settle your nerves down because you're one of two people. So tell me who you are, okay? Tell me who you are. Who is that, Nadia? So you may be someone who doesn't have any problem talking, right? You don't have any problem talking, or you're kind of shy. Are you one or the other? Like you don't have any trouble talking, or you're kind of shy. Which one, which one are you? Which one are you? Anybody can answer. I'm not shy. I know. Yes. She's not shy and she has a gajillion questions, just like me, just like me. Okay, so you don't have any trouble talking. You don't have any trouble talking. So, anyone else? Anyone else? What happened, Nadia? Did you leave? Maybe she left. Okay, so one or the other. So if you don't have any trouble talking, you might make the mistake of talking too much. Okay? Because this should not be more than a minute and a half, maybe 2 minutes. It should not be long. And so if you're like me and you don't have any trouble talking, you may go on and on and on and tell your life story, and they got nothing else to ask you because they're sick of hearing you. Okay. Or or I'm okay, but question is very important. That's true. Not shy, good. But if you are shy a little bit or unsure, we can say, or nervous, then it will help you to give you kind of a template to finish. Okay. Okay, Paolo, you're shy. So it gives you a definite order of what to say. So here it is. So first of all, I want you to tell them your name. You don't have to give them your last name, by the way, especially if it's 15 letters long. Okay. You can just give your first name because they know who you are. Okay. You can just say, thank you for this opportunity, which everyone says, but it's a way to start. My name is Simone. You just say your first name, say it slowly. Help us with the pronunciation. Okay. So sometimes people forget the E on my name, and that's Simon. That's like a boy's name, but my name is Simone. It's got a French origin. So you can tell us about your name. Tell us where you're from. Again, do not say it so quickly because I don't know where it is or what it is or how to pronounce it. So say it slowly. I'm from the Houston, Texas area, which is in the south part of the United States. So tell me, where in India are you from? Because I don't know. Okay. Or what part of the country is that? And so let's see. Yeah, that's right, Paolo. You do not have to. I'm sorry, I'm just talking to him. So I think it's okay now. I think I got it. All right, so tell me where you're from and maybe what's famous for that part. Like, so I'm down close to the Gulf. We have a lot of hurricanes. We have very mild winters. Whatever you want to say about your hometown. If you're from a village, tell us you're from a very small village. You're from a big city. You live near the ocean. You're up in the mountains. So this way I can picture you. I can close my eyes and think, okay, you're hiking to the base camp, or you're going down to the beach, or you live in the jungle, or you're from a very small village and you had to walk 5 miles to your school. These are actual stories that I've heard. And so it helps us to place you. So your name and where you're from. Okay, now I'm going to do something. I'm going to flip it around just a little bit, and it might feel a little weird, but it does help. The next thing I want you to do is to tell me, well, wait, one more thing, and a little bit about your family if you want to tell me about your family. It's fine if you don't. It's just some people want to talk about their family. I come from a very large family. I have over 300 cousins, or that's actually me. Or I come from a very small family of doctors. Everyone's doctors, or I'm the first doctor in the family. Okay, so that's pretty easy. Then next, I want you to tell me what you're currently doing. Currently, I am working as a house officer. Currently, I am working in a sports center. Currently, I am studying for my step 3. Currently, I'm working as a medical assistant. Currently, I'm driving an Uber or DoorDash, whatever that is. What are you doing currently? I need to know. And then you can say, over the last 6 months, 8 months, 3 months, I've been doing US clinical rotations. I've been able to learn about the US medical system, about the EMR, working with staff and nurses and techs and specialists, and learning how the system works. So you're just telling them briefly how many months of experience you have. You can cram it all together. If you have some experience that's the same specialty, you could say including 3 months of pediatric rotations. If you didn't actually get any in your specialty, then don't mention it. They'll figure it out. It's in your application. So that's what you've been doing. So we're kind of going from now backwards, okay? So then you can say for the last 3, 4 months, okay? So uh, and then you can say, I mean, you can tell them I graduated medical school in Cuba, summa cum laude. It doesn't really matter. They know that. It's not really helping you any. If you feel like you need to tell them that you went to medical school, they already know. So if I told you, well, I went to Spring Branch High School, does that matter to you? I mean, no. Even if I said I went to Texas A&M University, I graduated from Texas A&M University. That's like one of the top 50 schools, in the States. But most of you probably don't know what that is or if it even means anything. And it's the same thing with your medical school. Hey, be proud of it. Be happy. That's good, but it doesn't really help you here. It's just adding words, okay? So tell us about your rotations. You can tell us about something you're really proud about, something, maybe some research that you have accomplished, or, some other project that you're really proud of, some volunteer work you've done. I had a client last year that worked at a pet shelter in California when all those fires were happening, and they were taking in dogs that were burnt, and they were helping them find homes and stuff. And that sparked a that started a conversation with the program director, or maybe it was a faculty member, and they were very interested in her volunteer work, right? So if you have any volunteer work, talk about that. And finally, talk about what you do in your free time. And I don't want a whole list, just pick one thing that's really cool that you would like to share. So maybe it's some sort of arts and crafts that you like to do. Don't just say, I like running, I like cooking, just be specific. If you love to cook, tell us what kind of food you love to cook. What are you famous for? I love to cook. I cook things, food that they serve in Louisiana. I'm very famous for my gumbo. Okay, so I could say that. Arts and crafts. I had someone today, she said she liked to crochet, and I was like, oh my gosh, what do you like to crochet? And she made these little crocheted animals. They were adorable. Okay, so and she uses that sort of as stress reliever, but then she can just actually show this cute little crocheted animal. Anything like that. If you like to hike, I have one that's training to trek to the base camp for Mount Everest. So tell us specifically. I'm training right now for, a half marathon, whatever it is. Or if you just like to watch movies, I really like to binge watch. Like right now I'm watching such and such. Or I like to play video games. That's fine too. Maybe they like the same video game. But my point is not a list. Just talk about one thing that will hopefully make a connection, right? Hopefully it'll make a connection. I love to ride horses, like whatever it is. Not me. I'm saying if you do. So whatever it is, whatever you would do today, maybe you haven't even been able to do it because you're too busy, but it's something that you would like to do in your free time. So for me, I love birding. Every day I bird. Every day I go outside and I look at the birds and I'm trying to figure out what's going on. This morning, there was a whole flock of a murder of crows that were attacking a hawk down the road. That was fascinating to me. Maybe it's boring to you, but maybe you would be interested in birds. Okay, so tell me in the chat, what is the thing that you would do on your free time? Okay, if you had free time, what would you like to do? Um, Anybody? So I hope that helped. Did that help? Oh, and I forgot to tell you the very last thing is the ending of your tell me about yourself. Okay. I'm giving you the last line. I look forward to learning more about your program and how I can be part of your team. Stop. Stop talking. Stop talking. Playing Marco Polo with my kids. Oh my gosh. Now, it is perfectly fine if you bring up your kids, but be careful, especially if they're little tots or the little babies, like what I showed in the picture, because that might be a question in their mind, is this going to be a problem? They can't, it's against the law for them to discriminate against you because of your family situation, but people still might have ideas that, oh, that's going to be a problem. So, but it's up to you. If you want to talk about your kids, talk about your kids. Okay, let's see. Baking. So, what do you like to bake? I want to know. Like, I like to bake birthday cakes. So, my little brother, I showed you that picture. He's turning 59 on Sunday, and I'm going to bake him a birthday cake. I bake a lot of birthday cakes. So, that's what I'm doing. Learn to dance salsa. I would love to do that. That sounds so fun. Code. Oh my gosh. Are you kidding me? Coding. I'm actually taking a course about a web design, web programming, and it's driving me crazy. Mechanic enthusiast. All right, that's cool. What are you maintaining? Zumba. I love Zumba. Jet skiing. That's crazy. Okay, I want to learn pickleball. I've never done it. I like visiting museums. Great, Diego. Tell us which museums have you visited? What are your favorite ones? Like where do you like to go? I personally love to go to libraries in little towns. I like to go travel in my RV and we stop at the libraries in small towns. They always have great Wi-Fi. The librarians know everything about town and they're very nice. And sometimes they have free coffee. So I like visiting libraries. Banana bread. I love banana bread. See, now that's a good thing. Okay, Samra, I love baking banana bread. So then now you have evoked their senses. And they're thinking, oh my gosh, I can smell the banana bread in the break room. We have to hire her. Okay, we need to match her. All right. I love sprint racing and I keep trying to beat my personal best time sprint racing. So is that like short distances? Like, are you Hussein Bolt? Is that you? Fast? All right, good. So you see how you can say a little bit, not just saying what you like, but explaining it a little bit more. Hopefully, you're going to match if you say you're going to bring banana bread, okay? Tennis is good. That's good. But like we talked about, so we should, so Inez was saying she likes tennis and she's really um, looking forward to finding a tennis partner or finding a racket club near the hospital, those kind of things. So you just talk about it more in your conversation. 100 meters, wow, that's fantastic. I really admire that. I can go very, very short distances, but not very fast. Okay, I have to try pickleball. I do. Race car driving. Are you kidding? Do you have a race car? Or do you like to watch it? You drive it? That's crazy. Okay. Michelin type desserts. I like trying crazy roller coasters too. That's good. Crazy roller coasters. So just say which parks you went to. Okay, so that's good too. So not just I love crazy roller coasters, but I've been to 15. Like give us some details. F1 fan. All right. I do. You drive? That's pretty cool. I would say that. So don't just say that you drive, say, give us some details about that because that's very unusual. Not many people do that as a hobby. All right. So you see how that can really make a connection now. If you don't talk, if you just make a list, I don't know what that means, okay? And also another thing that do what you want, okay? Take what you like and leave the rest. But I don't like it when IMGs try to connect their hobbies with a strength. So this shows that, I love to bird and it shows that I can really pay attention and my hearing's pretty good and I can distinguish between this and I don't like that. Just for the enjoyment, okay? Just for the enjoyment. That's more authentic than anything else. Collecting rare houseplants. Oh my gosh, look what I have. I don't collect them. I only have one. Okay. Do you know what this is? It's not really rare, but do you know what it is? Anybody? Karaoke while driving my car. I love that. Peperomia? I don't know what that is. Is that what you think this plant is? I like karaoke while driving a car. That's cool. Naran? No, it's an African violet, but it doesn't have any violets on it. Oops. Okay, see, we're making connections. You see how this works? You see how it works? That's awesome. Thank you. Well, if it would make, it has made flowers before, but I don't know what's wrong with it now. All right, so that's what I have for tonight. Um, any questions about joining me in the group, becoming part of the IMG Match Success community, sticking with us while we do that residency readiness course live? It's going to be so much fun. We're going to have a good time. We always do. But that is it. It's 8:07. I'm done here. I'm done here. Thank you. Good luck to everyone. Yes. Let me stop sharing. And that's what I have. Did you get the copy of your book? I hope you do. My pleasure. And I'm going to say good night to all of you. It's very nice. I'm looking at these pictures. Good night. Good night. Hi, Nani. I just saw you. Aishwara, hey, how are you? Let's see, who else? Paolo. Wow, it's so good to see all of you today, tonight. Have a great weekend. Okay, bye-bye. Stop recording.